economic theory, where the first part is an experimental phase, where you try out new things, not necessarily better technologies than the ones you have, it's just doing things another way. The second phase is when this innovation, this technologies, the application starts to show and you expand these things into society. And the last phase is a transformational phase, when society is totally immersing these technologies, and that these technologies are changing the way we live, the way we work, the way society is functioning. Well, as I said, for example, that with autonomous cars we can save 1 million lives in traffic, but we're also going to get a challenge when it comes to organ donors, because roadkills or traffic casualties is the greatest source of donated organs. That's just one thing like that. Again, in different perspectives, I think it's a trial and error. Even on a societal level, we need to try and error, we need to discuss these things. We need to be curious as individuals. We need to be a bit skeptical, not automatically be okay with what someone else is saying, not trust scientists too much because they have their agenda, usually for the greater good, but they want to get the Nobel Prize, they want to get all this research published, they want to get new funding. Doesn't necessarily align with what you want to do with technology. And the second part is, of course, companies. They have their profit perspective. Most companies want to do good, but they want to make money as well, meaning that it's not necessarily the same thing for you. Third part of this is, politicians. Don't let politicians decide these things, because, in Sweden now we have elections in September next year, meaning that we have a 10-month perspective in the heads of any politicians. So they don't really, meaning that you can't let anyone else decide because they have different opinions and different perspectives. You need to form your own opinions about this. Most of them are today in the experimental phase. Of the ones that I showed. There's tons of technologies. There's a lot of interesting technologies that come further. Internet of Things, for example, where we start seeing, we left the experimental phase and we start seeing real, serious, interesting, useful applications of this. So maybe of these 10, the common denominator is that there's a lot of experimentation going on still. I very much enjoy everything that has to do with quantum computing, because it's such a immature field today, and all the people working with it, they are really curious, excited, and then they design something. This is a quantum computer, and sometimes they can't even really tell if it is a quantum computer, and usually they don't really know how it works, but it's just all this curiosity and experimentation that's going on there. I really enjoy that. And I really do think that I'm optimistic about where we're heading. That hasn't been totally true in all the speeches today here, but I'm very optimistic that we will solve all these challenges that we're facing, and technology will be an essential part of this. But we should not let anyone else decide. We need to work hard to form our own opinions of this and to be in the driver's seat.